Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. As you can tell by the title today, I want to talk about Doctor Who because I absolutely love this show. Now specifically, I want to talk about the fact that it was just recently announced that Peter Capaldi is going to take over as the 12th Doctor come the Christmas special this year. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because, well, I kind of got mixed feelings about this. Now, on one side, as a die-hard Doctor Who fan who grew up watching Doctor Who since the Tom Baker years, I love this idea. I know who Peter Capaldi is. He's been in Doctor Who before. He's been in Torchwood. He was in World War Z. He's been in a lot of British television shows. He's been in movies. I know who he is. He's a great actor. And I think he's going to do a fantastic job. In fact, I think he's going to kind of bring a darker tone to the character that we haven't seen in a while, at least not since Chris Eccleston was the Doctor. And I think that's going to work really, really well with Stephen Moffat running the show because we know he likes darker stories, and I can't wait personally to see him portray the Doctor. I think we're going to get a fantastic rendition of this character, and I'm really excited about it. But the other side of this, the part that worries me, is the fact that since 2005 when the series got rebooted, okay, it got a whole new fan base that had previously not known the show at all and were not fans of the show. They probably hadn't even heard of it because it was really only a big deal in the UK up until the reboot in 2005. I'm sure there was people like me who had heard of it and who had watched the show as kids on PBS, but for the most part, a lot of people, even sci-fi fans, didn't really know who Doctor Who was, and they probably heard of it, but it wasn't like Star Wars or Star Trek, okay? So since this reboot happened and it's got this new fan base, its fan base has primarily been a lot younger than it previously was. I mean, we're talking about a fan base from 15 to 30 as opposed to 30 to 50. It's a very different demographic, and a demographic that really elevated the show in a way that nobody could have predicted. I mean, it allowed the show to be advertised and promoted much more than they ever would have expected, and much more than the older series ever was. You know, this new, younger demographic allowed more advertisers to come in and give the show more money. They were able to get bigger stars and guest stars and do more with the special effects. And that fan base, that younger demographic, has done a lot for the show and made the show better. The problem is when you go from a leading man who's in his mid-20s to a leading man who's in his, I believe he's around 50 years old, what risk do you run that you might alienate some of your demographic? Some of your demographic that between Chris Eccleston being in his late 30s when he did the show, to David Tennant being in his early 30s when he did the show, to Matt Smith being in his mid-20s when he's done the show, we've really created a situation where the Doctor has been a peer to the people who watch him. They look at him as somebody like them. They look at him as an action star almost in some sense, females look at him as a sex symbol. And what happens when you kind of alienate a large portion of the people watching by going with an actor so much older? I worry about what it could possibly do to the show. Now, like I said, as a die-hard fan, I'm excited about this, and I hope most of the people out there who love the show will stick with it and will look past the age difference between the lead actors and just go with it for the story. I really, truly hope so. But it does worry me that we might see some problems, that the show might suffer because of this drastic change in the age of the main character. So anyway, that's it. Those are my thoughts on the situation. Let me know down below what you think about what's going on. Do you like Peter Capaldi? Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think it might actually cause some problems? So as always, guys, I appreciate you watching, and we'll talk to you later.